There's a reason why I'm nearly as good as you on this show. It's because I can see into the future. And I don't know if you saw this, but last week I called exactly what was going to happen in the World Cup as it relates to Megan Rapinoe. Let's watch this ice lock. It was a good day.
I will certainly hope that Megan Rapinoe at least doesn't get in the game. I can't stand her.
I want her in the game and for her to cost us the game. But anyway, go ahead.
I'd be fine with that.
Rapinoe right foots it over the bar.
Oh boy.
I was thrilled with what happened on Sunday. The great gay hope ruined the U.S. women's national soccer team. I think their collapse mirrors the descent of Megan Rapinoe. She's made this whole thing the last 3 years about her brand and building herself up. And the team looked like a sloppy mess throughout the group stage. Tried to turn it on once they got to the knockout round, but ran into the wrong team that didn't let them score. And then once it got to penalty kicks, Rapinoe and a couple other girls choked, and we lost, and I'm thrilled about it.
Yeah, imagine that. You know that kick, ironically, went far right. I mean, way far right. I'm like, talk about not being on brand. But yeah, I woke up yesterday, and I see all these tweets and all of these, the timeline's being dominated by a lot of messages for hope and unity for Sweden. And there's the toxicity that now relates to that brand. And I do wonder if that particular franchise, the U.S. women's national team, will forever be stained or have a dark cloud over them because of the Rapinoe effect, or if she truly is retired and she walks away, that people say, okay, now we're back to being who we are, because I am seeing more and more backlash or people that may have played with her that are kind of coming out and saying, wait a minute, she made us very, very uncomfortable. And I also wonder if the higher-ups or the executives that run this organization will say to themselves, at least privately, like, we are never letting this happen again. We are a national team that represents America, and we cannot have this much overt anti-American sentiment that's going to turn at least, I would say, a third, if not half of the country against us. So I don't know. Look, Megan's going to, what I found amazing is that ESPN still painted this as a heroic run by Megan. I guess they ran something about how she was a pioneer, and they ran this.
Oh, no, we're about to play it. We're about to play it. We're going to play it right now. She goes out in a cloud of dust and ignominy or failure, misses the penalty kick. The team scores 4 goals in 4 games, and they're acting as if, oh, what a heroic run. This is their worst finish ever. They couldn't pivot, and so they play a 3-minute feature of Megan's fiance, Sue Bird, basically kissing her rear end. And let's play the clip. I've just never seen this. They acted like she went out like Kobe scoring 61 or John Elway diving into the end zone during the Super Bowl. Let's play Sue Bird's love letter to her scissoring fiance.
There's no one quite like Megan Rapinoe. She was just a kid from a small city called Redding, California, when soccer swung the doors to the world wide open. She went to college in Portland, Oregon, and played professionally in Chicago and Philadelphia before stints abroad in Australia and France, and then to Seattle. Wherever she's gone, she's represented the best of the United States. She is audacious and confident. She dazzles her way through defenders, and she isn't afraid to try stuff. She is unapologetically herself, and she never tries to be a player she's not.
Rapinoe! You gotta go ahead, let him know.
Over her more than 14 years representing the U.S. national team, Megan has done things her own way, and it has lifted her into the pantheon of all-time great athletes. Yeah, people who don't know Megan call her a lot of things, but the list should start with winner. She won an Olympic gold medal in 2012, followed by winning 2 World Cups in 2015 and 2019.
We want to win everything all the time.
In 2019, she was named the best player in the world, and she did it even as some people were hoping she'd lose. Her patriotism is what has driven her to lend her voice to those who need it. When she started kneeling to protest racial inequality in the United States, she did it because she loved America and believed it could be a better version of itself.
There's no level of status that will protect you from the clutches of inequality.
When she accepted her award as FIFA's Best Player of 2019, she used her speech to call on everyone to join the fight in stamping racism out of soccer. When she fought for equal pay, which included suing her own bosses at the federation and risking her spot on the national team, she didn't do it for herself. She did it for the young girls who have yet to represent the U.S., the girls who will one day play for their country without ever having to sit in a boardroom pleading to be treated equally. Megan never set out to be a gay icon. That's just what happened when she was herself.
Gay!
Soccer over her legendary career.
It's our responsibility to make this world a better place.
While Megan is one of a kind, her empathy and compassion for others is what has made her a leader. It's why her U.S. teammates can't talk about her pending retirement without crying.
She's done such incredible things for this team and for the world.
It's why the people who don't know her can criticize her, but everyone who does know her loves her. When Megan retires, she won't stop using her voice. She won't stop expressing herself. She won't stop doing all the things that make her Megan Rapinoe. But the sport will be just a little less fun without her.
Megan Rapinoe.
But the sport will be just a little less fun without her.
Megan Rapinoe is Muhammad Ali, Steve, according to Sue Bird and ESPN. To me, she's one of the phoniest athletes of all time.
Well, she's unapologetically a malcontent. That's some real self-aggrandizement right there, right? From her significant other. But here's the issue. When you talk about, I can go several ways with this. If you did an approval rating of women's soccer, our national team, I would guess, and I would venture, and again, I haven't seen any polls, and I'm not the Pew rating system here, but I would guess that a large portion of America have a much more negative thought or opinion of that organization and that team than they did, let's say, 8 years ago. Much of it had to do with Megan Rapinoe. And the problem is that there is no dissent allowed when it comes to her. I mean, ESPN or any other mainstream media should have the right to say, well, wait a minute, Megan, what about these particular issues and your stances? The other thing is that I do have an issue with this, these gated community revolutionaries. When she talks about racial injustice and all that other stuff, I would love to know, and I'm not trying to dox her, where does she live? What is the percentage of people that look like the one she says she's trying to help? Does she live within those communities? And, like, is she out there? Or does she look like the people that are supposedly the oppressors behind a gated community in a multi-million-dollar house? The other thing is, when you start talking about the equality and all this other issues, how much of her own money has she given to causes? What has she really done that is tangible? And I've talked about this in the past, such as starting a business, investing in land, getting a collective together to actually grow something organically within these affected communities that you say you want to help. That is the issue that I have with modern day activism. It's about hashtagging. It's about complaining. It's about going online and maybe holding a press conference and talking with certain buzzwords. But the actual execution of these ideas never actually takes place. And that is the thing. I mean, again, with Megan, I would really like to ask her, what have you done really to stamp out racism other than point the finger? That is the most empty gesture you can make, is to say that there's racism and I'm trying to stop it. But at the same time, the messaging they give is, yeah, but let me live in a community that's 99% white. And so that those things, I can never take these people seriously. And unfortunately, they have been given the bully pulpit.
I got a nice project for her if she wants to prove how virtuous she is. She could start by getting her brother to leave the white supremacist prison gang he joined when he was in and out of prison. She start there. Do that, and maybe she has. But you know that would be, maybe that'll get her a Nobel Peace Prize. Like what you saw? Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the full episode by clicking the link below.